Hello and welcome back to my channel. There seems to be a wedding fever around today. In group this morning we had big TV screens in the background with the goings on at the royal wedding. No sound, just pictures, and only half the number of people stayed to group, but the first group was absolutely inundated with people, so I guess people want to get home and watch it on the telly. We were just driving home up to where we live and the roads closed and street parties, and I think it's really nice because it's something that brings people together. So yeah, and I could say the same thing about Slimming World. One of the things I really love about this plan is we all have something in common. So for the rest of our lives we might have absolutely nothing else in common. You know, we might have different professions, different interests, different hobbies, but Slimming World gives us something to focus on that we all share. And I think it's invaluable because when I look around group, or in my way look around group, we have doctors in our group, we have nurses, we have people like me who don't work at all, we have a girl with Down syndrome, we have a guy with learning difficulties, we have big businessmen, we have quite a well-known cyclist, we have somebody who actually has gone to the royal wedding today, a young lady in our group's gone to the royal wedding today. We have people from every walk of life, and the one thing we've got in common is Slimming World, and it keeps us coming back. And I just love that because the people I meet at group every week, some of them, I'd have no cause to meet them outside of group. And yet you make friends and you associate with people you wouldn't necessarily associate with because, you know, there may be a big businessman or there may be a healthcare professional that you wouldn't come into contact with. And I just think that's really invaluable. And the same thing about having a channel. I am making so many friends and so many acquaintances via my channel. I have friends now who I regularly email and text. I have friends I'm in touch with sometimes every day of the week. I have friends who motivate me when I'm not feeling motivated. I have friends who give me a kick up the bum, Susan, when I need one, and I'm so grateful for that. You know, it really, really works. Not just because we work it, but it works because Margaret Miles Bramwell had this idea 45 plus years ago. She brought a small group of women together to lose weight, and it's grown and grown. And now there's people all over the country by the thousands doing what we're doing and interested in what we're interested in. And it just is powerful stuff. Anyway, let's talk about my results. I had a strange week. Last Saturday we had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of food involved. That was fine. I knew that was going to happen, and I had been 100% on plan for the week leading up to it, planning for that. And if you remember, I shared that I was quite disappointed in a maintain. I shouldn't be disappointed in a maintain, but I actually had this overall plan to shed a bit of weight last week to allow for the small gain I expected this week. Well, I got a maintain last week, which left me at 8 stone 13. That's fine. This week, I knew it was going to have a really heavy day on Saturday, and I knew that there might be other occasions in the week that I would have to really watch myself. And it hasn't been the easiest of weeks. It hasn't been a hard week, but it hasn't been the easiest of weeks because of my behaviour. So I went to group this morning, fully expecting a gain, and I'd shared with a couple of my friends during the week that I was really expecting a gain. So I went to group thinking I was going to hit the 9 stone or maybe just above, and that's not where I want to go. But sometimes, you know, in life you just have to hit that wall, regroup yourself and go on. And anyway, went to group, stood in the queue, got on the scales, and by the grace of God and some modern day miracle, I got a maintain. And I'm really thankful for that. But what I honestly believed saved me was the fact that last week I had a 100% on plan week. Loads of speed, really enjoyed it, cut out a lot of the things that I had been allowing to creep in that were still on plan but don't suit me, don't suit my body. And then this week, as I've gone forward, even though I haven't had a perfect week, I've cut out the coconut flat white coffees, which, although I can sin them, are A, not a good use of my sins, and B, I'm not altogether sure that every Costa makes them in the same way. So where I'm counting 4.5 sins because it says so on the app, I think some of them are actually way more than 4.5 sins, and I've been fooling myself. So I cut those out this week, except for yesterday. I was out with Joe and Richard yesterday and I had a flat white coconut coffee and sinned it. The previous week I probably had 6 or 7 of them. So, but counted them within my sins. And also I had drifted into the habit of drinking Monster, the sugar-free ones, but I know that diet drinks don't suit me. I've known for years that diet drinks don't suit me, so why do I pick them up again? You know, I picked up Mango Diet Coke the other week, and oh goodness, I really like that, but I've put it down again now because it doesn't suit me. Artificial sweeteners have always reacted in my body just like sugar does, so I don't need to go there. So I've got to maintain, and as I say, I am well happy with that. Now this week I've had a good week food-wise. I'm going to talk about a subject in a moment that has really affected me this week. But before I do that, I want to show you something. One of my things is clothes, and that's because I never ever used to be able to buy the clothes I wanted to wear. I always dressed in whatever I could find that fitted me. So when I worked in an office for years, I bought skirts in Marks and Spencer's until I got too big to buy skirts in Marks and Spencer's, and I had to buy skirts in Evans, and I bought tops in Evans, and that's how I dressed for the office. And to be honest, I always felt like a bag of, well, S-H-I-T tied in the middle. I never had a proper shape to me. I was just blobby. And I never felt good in my clothes because although I would dress pretty much like the other girls in the office dressed, a skirt and a top, because we worked in a big office, they were dressed in stylish skirts and tops. I was dressed in shapeless skirts and tops. I never felt good. But my clothes were always a lot more expensive than theirs because I was paying silly prices for oversized clothes. Today, I feel like, yeah, I'm going to make the most of being able to buy as many clothes as I absolutely want to. I pay for them as I buy them. I don't shove them on credit cards. I haven't used my credit card since I started at Slimming World. That was another thing that I used to overuse, and it had to go. There have been a lot of changes in my life that haven't just been about food, that have been about behaviour. That was one of them. So now I pay for my clothes as I buy them. I enjoy wearing them. I enjoy passing them on if they get too big for me. And it is becoming a bit of a hobby and a pastime, but I really don't care because it's harmless. And for the first time in my life, I can walk into a clothes shop and go, yeah, that's very nice, but no, it's not me. Or, no, that's not my colour. Joe will say, oh, there's a nice top here, but it's peach or something. No, not my colour. And all this sort. And it's lovely to be able to say no to things rather than saying, find me something that fits. I don't care what colour it is. And I used to wear tops with big flowers on. I mean, I was a big woman. I was 22 stone and 5'2", so I was a big woman. And then I'd appear in a top with a pink top with a big flower on the front, which just made everybody focus on this big woman. She's just a big flower. It just wasn't right. But now I can wear the kind of clothes I like, which might not be the kind of clothes you choose to wear, because I'm quite a plain Jane, and I'm very much into stripes, and I'm very much into navy. But this week we were in Sainsbury's, and just to be able to walk up to a rack, and I was looking for some more shorts, and Joe found these. These are Sainsbury's Bermuda shorts, and I have to say, if you remember the way Marks and Spencer's used to size their clothes, so if you were a size 14 or a size 10 or whatever, you knew you could walk into Marks, pick up a size 14, you wouldn't need to try it on, it would fit you. Well, I find Sainsbury's size most of their clothes pretty much like Marks and Spencer's used to. I can walk into Sainsbury's now and I can pick up clothes and I can just hold them up and say, yeah, that'll fit me. The shorts I'm wearing are current stock at Sainsbury's, and I think they were £14. These are a size 10. They're a good fit, they're a generous size 10. So, but I couldn't go down a size because they don't do them in an 8, so I put a belt on them. But you don't want tight shorts in the summer on a hot day, do you? The top, Sainsbury's, £10, and it's really soft, lovely cotton. You don't need to pay a fortune for clothes. You can if you want to. There's nothing against it, but, you know. I watch Fopaholic. She buys from Primark to designer because it's clothes that suit her. Not clothes to impress anybody else, just clothes that suit her. And that's how I feel like I'm going now. Because my friends laugh at me for the number of striped tops and striped jumpers I've got, but hey, I like stripes. So, and then this was my find of the week, well, Joe's find of the week. I've got a Levi denim jacket, but it's a winter one because it's fleece lined. This is Sainsbury's, perfect. Again, nice fit, plenty of room. Sleeves the right length, which is good when you've got short arms like I have. £22. Now, I think that's an excellent price for a denim jacket, and it's really comfortable and it's soft as well. So, yeah. The subject I want to talk about, is this all right to leave it on? Because I don't think it goes with the shorts, does it? Wrong colour, but...
Not the worst. Not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Not the worst thing you've ever seen me in, no doubt. Right, let's leave it on. Right, the thing I want to talk about this week, and it's what's been happening to me this week, is instant gratification. After Saturday and choosing to eat what I wanted to eat on Saturday, because it was that kind of day and we were in that kind of place, I found it hard to, not hard to stop, but hard to stop wanting to do it again. Now, when we did our food shop on Saturday, one of the things I've been saying to Joe was, if I get a taste for chocolate, I want more. So I was looking at whether it would be a good idea to reintroduce having a little bit of chocolate every day, rather than letting myself slip and having a whole lot in one go. You know, we're saying, could you think you could manage it by having a little bit each day? Not 100% sure, but I bought a packet of 6 Freddos, which would enable me to have one a day, Sunday to Friday, 5 sins, no problem, out of my 15. So he came home with his bag of Freddos. By the following morning, I was like of the mind, I don't want them in the house. I just don't want them in the house. So I said to Joe, when you go to work, take those Freddos with you, and if you see a homeless person, give them the Freddos. So when he came back from work at tea time, he said, I didn't see anybody to give them to, they're still in my bag. Well, within 10 minutes, they weren't in his bag, they were in my belly, because I knew they were there, I had to have them, and I literally ate all 6, one after the other. Didn't even feel like I'd had a good amount of chocolate, I could have carried on. But that was okay, draw a line, Jane. Count, you know, it's 30 sins, draw a line, forget about it, move on. Now, Naomi always says to us, we're very good at saying to ourselves, you did really badly, you've let yourself down, you're a failure. But when we have a good day, we've got to remember to say to ourselves, actually, you've had a brilliant day, you've done really well, be proud of yourself. We're all very good, well, I'm very good at knocking myself, I'm not very good at praising myself, and I've got to practice that more. Anyway, Monday came, Joe was out and about doing his stuff and everything. When he walked back through the door, and it was sort of, was it about 6 o'clock, 6:30, something
yeah, about
like
that time.
I jumped out of my chair and I said to him, I've got to go to Asda. Oh God, he said, I'm starving, I've just come back, I need to cook. And I'm like, no, before you do anything else, I've got to go to Asda. And he's like, Mum, there's nothing we need. And I'm like, I need to go to Asda. And if you don't take me, I could have killed him. I mean, he's so nice. And I could have killed anybody. I was ready to kill for food. And it was all about instant gratification. I want it now. I don't give a sod if it's going to make me fat. I don't care if eating this even puts me straight back to 22 stone. I've got to do it. And it's a horrible, horrible feeling. And I guess a lot of other people will have experienced it. Anyway, we went to Asda. I'm not going to give you a list of what I bought and what I ate. I'll tell you a couple of things, but they're not the majority of the stuff. But I actually did find that I got more pleasure from wandering around Asda with a basket thinking, ooh, what could I have? What should I have? That it's almost like a sexual thrill. I don't know if anybody can relate to this. It's like, I'm going to do this. I know it's bad. I know it's not good for me. I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I'm going to do this. And I actually did buy stuff that I shouldn't be eating. I did buy a couple of cream horns. I've not had cream horns for donkey's years. They weren't what I wanted. I wanted another cream cake, but they didn't have the ones I wanted, so I fell back on these. I bought chocolate.
We get the gist.
Yeah.
Don't need the list.
Okay, fair enough. But I did buy stuff that I shouldn't have been eating. I will just say I bought a box of 3 Magnums with the intention of having one, or confessing an intention to have one, knowing I eat all 3. Because when it comes to eating in that fashion, I'm a liar. Anyway, I went way off plan. I had an absolute, take my jacket off, I'm too warm. Way off plan, had an absolute binge, whoops, on Monday night. And absolutely hated myself for it. Got up Tuesday morning thinking, you're a bloody failure. You go on there on a Saturday and you tell people this plan isn't hard. It's an easy, simple plan. You've just got to stick to it. And 99.9% of the time, I can do that. But I couldn't have done it on Monday night if my life had depended on it. I honestly would have punched somebody to get to food. I would have knifed somebody almost to get to food. I was that desperate. Now, I don't know where those feelings come from. I know that a lot of people battle with them, and I know I battle with them. And I know it's linked to instant gratification. And when it hits you that hard, I don't know how to stop it. It's like a steam train. It's going to run you over. So I did that on Monday night. Tuesday morning, when I was quite disgusted with myself, I decided to take stock. I'm like, what are you doing, Jane, that is different? What are you doing that's causing these? They're not cravings, it's different to a craving. A craving, I can have a craving and I can overcome it. I can ignore it, I can let it go. That is more than a craving. But what are you doing, Jane, that could be contributing towards that? And the only thing I can say is that lately I've been so focused on not on my weight, because my weight is really important to me, but I've been so focused on doing the plan not properly or well. I don't know how to explain it. I'd cut back to having one A choice and one B choice because a lot of people had said to me, other people don't have 2. Do you know, bottom line, does it matter what I don't give a toss what other people do. I'm going to do what works for me. And I was listening to people saying that to me. Other people don't have 2 B choices every day. Where does it say in plan? Well, you're not a target, so it doesn't say it in your plan, love, but in mine I can, and I am, and I will, and I do. And I've gone back from Tuesday to actually having 2 A's and 2 B choices, back to having my full 15 sins. And this morning, I got a maintain. And I don't think I necessarily deserved that maintain because of what I ate this week, but combined with what I'd done last week to prepare for this week, 2 maintains in a row is a brilliant result for me. And I'm really happy with that. But it's also given me the incentive and the motivation to do this plan properly now. Stop playing around. And I couldn't stand here today and say to you, I've had a brilliant week. I've got to maintain. Aren't I clever? Because I'd have been a liar. And that's not what my channel's about. It's about me being honest with myself, which in turn means me being honest with you. And saying how I got to the place I'm at today, being weigh day. So instant gratification has plagued me this week. And I'm not saying that by giving into it, I got over it. I'm still not happy that I gave into it. I just don't know. When it's coming at me like a full force steam train, I don't know how to get out of the way of it. It'll come in time, I'm guessing. It's not about perfection, is it? It's a journey we're on. But yeah, from Monday night onwards, I've had a really on-plan week that I've really enjoyed. Excuse me, I haven't eaten yet. One food thing I did pick up yesterday in Aldi was the lamb rogan josh, which is actually 1.5 sins. I'm going to have that for lunch today with rice. And things like I'm going to try to be a bit more adaptable, whereas usually I wouldn't eat ready meals. You know, my consultant eats this lamb rogan josh. I want what she's got. 7 years at Target. If she can eat it and enjoy it, why can't I? Sometimes I think I'm a bit too hard on myself. I don't want to be soft on myself. I don't want to be eating chocolate and cake and ice creams every day. But likewise, I think sometimes I need to be a wee bit more flexible. So we're going forward and we're going to have a decent week. We've got nothing much to get in the way. The builder's finished his stuff and gone. Got got nobody in this week, have we, Jo, doing anything? So it's pretty much down to me this week, and I can choose every meal. I don't even think I've got any meals out. If I have, it's only one. So I'm looking forward to another week on plan. And I'm grateful that you've taken the time to stop by and watch it. Hope you've all enjoyed the royal wedding by the time you see this. We'll be back next Saturday, and I need to remind myself, it works if I work it. It won't if I don't. And that for me is crucial. It's the only way forward, because I'm definitely not going back. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.